After making a name in modern Filipino design and architecture, Budji Layog takes his talents to the canvas with his solo exhibit, Enter the Dreamscape. We learn about his works right here on The Final Word. The iconic Budji Layog on CNN Philippines. Thank you, sir, for joining us.
Thank you for us.
From hair to furniture, design, and now you are a visual artist. How did you get into the visual arts, Budji?
Normally, you do design and space planning, architecture, and furnishings. At the very end, you have to do the art. That you design a home, a house, but art makes the home, right? So I started to paint more than 20 years ago, so that it will complement a holistic approach to Filipino living.
Why did you only decide, like over the past 2 years, to showcase your fine art?
Well, I was really very experimental in my work. And through the years, I've been doing a lot of landscapes and figurative works. And recently, I've been doing more abstract. And when I found that abstraction already satisfactory, I decided to have a show.
Right now, your interior designs in many homes in the Philippines and overseas are already works of art. But taking a look at the works that you have created for your exhibit at Leon, the themes are fantasy landscapes, to cockfighters, waterfalls, and completely abstract artworks. What were the inspirations behind these pieces?
I always wanted to be able to express movement in my works, also my emotions. And going through experimentations, I was able to capture that in spontaneous this approach to my art. And that's when I decided that it's time to try colors as well and express myself through emotion, color, and movement.
34 artworks are on showcase. What was it like working on this body of works? Your emotions when dabbing your paintbrush on your palettes with acrylic paint and putting them on canvas?
Well, it's more of an expression of how I feel, my emotions, putting them on the canvas and satisfying, finding myself through my discovery of what I feel, and then expressing myself and knowing myself more in that process.
Just looking at those works right now, it is an eclectic mix of ideas that you have in these 34 works. You have orange, you have green, just various colors. What is your favorite palette? What is your favorite color combination, Budji?
Well, I like the colors from nature. I like turquoise, I like blues and greens. And of course, there are times when I also like the reds as well.
And from these 34 works, what is your favorite work or works from this collection? And which particular theme?
Well, the particular one that I really like is the seascape, which is titled Tsunami. It's a very Asian theme that's really very close to my heart because I feel that the Japanese sensibility and the Filipino within me is always looking to nature, and that's, I think, what represents me most.
Tsunami, yes. That is one of the greatest, nature incidents that can really hit any country. But what did you discover about yourself while working on these 34 art pieces?
I find that when I start with an art, and it's figurative and it's looking too beautiful or real, I try to abstract it. And in the process of abstracting and experimenting, I discover something that I really love. And that's when that moment happens, that's the time I stop. It's really to discover myself. Because at the end of the day, you're not dealing with any client. You're only dealing with your emotion.
Yes.
And I think that's what I find is truly learning who I am.
And when you worked on all of these 34 artworks, did you finish one work at a time Or were there several canvases on your wall and you would paint maybe some of them 2 or 3 simultaneously?
Well, when I do small works, I have a few in front of me, let's say 4. And I go from one layering it to the other. And that one is very spontaneous. It's at the moment you get the inspiration. And when you get that inspiration, it might just be a few hours or a day or 2.
Yes.
But when you're doing big works, you work with one for a week or a few days and go on to the next. But if you're not happy, you set it aside and start something.
Come back to that canvas.
It could take maybe 6 months before you go back to it. I like to layer my paintings. So in the end, a lot of friends tell me, hey, that's good. Why did you erase it? I said, I'm not yet happy.
A lot of emotion, a lot of texture in each of these artworks on your canvas. All right. It took you close to a year to finish these 34 artworks.
Yes.
Did it ever cross your mind? I'm neglecting my day job, interior designing.
Well, it's a holistic approach.
Yeah.
The mind can switch from design, space planning to furniture and to art. So it's a holistic approach. It's not neglecting one or the other. But right now, it's really actually your focus on, let's say, design and art. And right now, I'm also putting together something, brewing something with a group of young entrepreneurs.
Yes.
And we call that Beyond 9.
And what is Beyond 9?
Beyond 9 is beyond Budji, what I do after design and space planning. I now want to go into maybe collaboration with young entrepreneurs to do products and design and developments. It could be community development and design. It's to enhance Filipino lifestyle.
Mm-hmm. And are you doing this, Budji, in the Philippines or also overseas?
Well, to begin with, we're doing it in the Philippines, and we want to bring it into exposing it to internationally.
Mm-hmm. And you have 34 artworks. Many of them have already been sold. For collectors who acquire your art pieces and hang them on their walls, what kind of experience would you like your collectors to have?
Each collector sees different things in the art. There are times when they see figures, faces, or even just abstraction, but they'll find something, a deeper meaning into it. And I think that's what is exciting about it. Each one has a different emotion. And discovering that emotion in each person, in each collector, is what is very fulfilling.
And you know, when I talk to many collectors, you talk about faces, abstractions, colors. Sometimes other collectors see different images, have different feelings when they look at the canvas. Maybe on the top corner, on the lower corner, or in the middle. Everyone has a different interpretation of art, Budji.
Yes, that's right. And you know, each one expresses and sees things the way most people see different figures and sometimes color. And that's, I think, very inspirational since that brings the individuality, the emotions out.
Budji, many Filipino artists have made great strides. I mean, the art community, the art market here in the Philippines is so vibrant. Where are we at right now, in your view, in the global art platform? Is it just us Filipinos who are collecting our own art, or are global collectors also buying Filipino art?
There is a global phenomenon in terms of the art market. Mostly international market, they're looking for abstractions. They fetch a higher price. And there's so many artists out there, you really have to be very competitive. And you have to have your own identity. Now, in the Philippine market here, it's very conservative in a way. They're looking for something that's truly Filipino, that's truly, or maybe more representational. But the challenge is really to come up with abstraction that is truly who you are. And I think there's room for that. But that's the most difficult part.
And I'm sure Filipino collectors are also very smart. They look for depth and meaning in the artworks and not one that is just for a decoration.
Right.
Right?
Very important is that the artist is represented in what his works are. You can identify it. That you, without even knowing or reading who it is, just one view and you'll say, that's this
Budji Layog.
artist. Right.
That's a work of
And
Budji Layog.
if it's somebody else, you can immediately identify. That identity is very important into any artist, is knowing themselves who they are and being able to convey that to the collectors.
And where can we view the 34 artworks of Budji Layog? Where can art lovers and art aficionados see these pieces?
The show runs till May 11 at Leon Gallery International in Legazpi Village. That will be another week or so.
Well, thank you so much, and kudos and bravo.
Thank you very
to your,
much for inviting me.
Visual art career.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Artist Budji Layog and his exhibit, Enter the Dreamscape.